Hello everyone. My name is Sarah and I want to share a very difficult story with you. This is about my childhood, my family, and the day that changed my life forever. This story is hard to tell, but I think it's important. I hope it helps someone who might be in a similar situation. I am 30 years old now. But this story happened when I was 17 years old. I grew up in a small town. My real father left when I was 5 years old. I don't remember him very much. My mother raised me alone for 3 years. Then when I was 8 years old, she met a man named Richard. Richard seemed nice at first. He smiled a lot. He bought me toys. He took us to restaurants. My mother was happy. She loved him. After 1 year, they got married. Richard became my stepfather. At first, everything was okay. Richard had a good job. He was a manager at a factory. We moved into his bigger house. My mother stopped working because Richard said he would take care of us. I had my own bedroom. I had new clothes. I went to a good school. But slowly, things started to change. Richard started drinking alcohol. Not every day, but on weekends. When he drank, his personality changed completely. He became angry. He shouted at my mother. He shouted at me. He said terrible things. My mother would cry and apologize to him. She always tried to make him happy. I tried to stay quiet and invisible when he was drinking. I learned to walk softly. I learned to speak quietly. I learned to disappear. When I was 12 years old, the violence started. One Saturday night, Richard came home drunk. I was watching television in the living room. He told me to turn it off. I said okay and reached for the remote control. But I wasn't fast enough for him. He grabbed my arm hard. He pulled me off the sofa. He hit me across the face. I fell down. My ear was ringing. My cheek was burning. My mother ran into the room. Richard, please. He's just a child. Richard pushed her away. He needs to learn respect, he said. Then he went to his bedroom and closed the door. My mother helped me up. She had tears in her eyes. I'm sorry, she whispered. Please don't make him angry. Just do what he says. I didn't understand. Why was she apologizing for him? Why didn't she protect me? But I was 12. I didn't know what to do. The beatings became regular after that. Sometimes he hit me for small things. I didn't clean my room fast enough. I spoke too loudly. I ate too much food. I looked at him the wrong way. Any reason was enough. He used his belt sometimes. He used his fists. He pushed me against walls. My mother saw everything but she never stopped him. She just cried and begged me to be good. To not upset him. I started wearing long sleeves to school even in summer. I covered my bruises. I didn't tell anyone. I was ashamed. I thought maybe it was my fault. Maybe I was a bad son. Maybe I deserved it. That's what Richard told me. You're useless. You're stupid. You're worthless. I should have never married your mother. I started to believe him. When I turned 17, I made a decision. I needed to leave. I couldn't live like this anymore. I was almost an adult. I could take care of myself. I had been working part-time at a grocery store after school. I had saved some money secretly. I applied to universities in different cities, far away from home. I got accepted to a university 800 miles away. It was perfect. I could escape. When I told my mother I was leaving for university, she cried. But they were not happy tears. You're leaving me alone with him, she said. I felt guilty but I had to go. I couldn't save her if I couldn't save myself. Richard didn't care that I was leaving. Good, he said. One less mouth to feed. I packed my bags and left that small town. I felt free for the first time in years. University was wonderful. Nobody hit me. Nobody shouted at me. I could breathe. I made friends. I studied hard. I worked part-time to pay for my expenses. I didn't go home for holidays. I made excuses. I was too busy. I had exams. I had work. The truth was I never wanted to see Richard again. My mother called me sometimes. She asked when I would visit. I always said soon, but I never went. 2 years passed like this. I was 19 years old and in my second year of university. Then one day, I received a phone call from my mother. She was crying. Really crying. I could barely understand her words. "Sarah, please come home. Please. I need you." Something terrible happened. My heart started beating fast. "What happened? Are you okay?" She was sobbing. "Richard is in the hospital. He had a heart attack. He's very sick. The doctors say he might die. Please come home. I can't do this alone." I didn't want to go. I hated Richard. Part of me hoped he would die. But my mother was begging me. She needed me. So I said yes. I would come home. I booked the first flight I could find. It was expensive, but I used my savings. The flight was the next morning. I didn't sleep that night. I felt anxious and scared. I hadn't been home in 2 years. I didn't want to see Richard, even if he was sick. The next day, I went to the airport. I boarded the plane. During the flight, I kept thinking about my childhood. All the pain. All the fear. All the bruises. I remembered my mother crying. I remembered hiding in my room. I remembered feeling worthless. The flight was 3 hours long. It felt like forever. When the plane landed, I took a taxi to the hospital. My mother was in the waiting room. When she saw me, she ran to me and hugged me tight. She looked older. More tired. More sad. "Thank you for coming," she whispered. "Where is he?" I asked. She pointed to a room. "He's sleeping now. The doctors said he's stable. He'll survive." I felt disappointed. I know that's terrible to say, but it's the truth. We sat in the waiting room for hours. My mother talked about Richard's heart attack. How scary it was. How she called the ambulance. How worried she was. I listened, but I didn't care. Eventually, a nurse said Richard was awake. My mother stood up. "Let's go see him," she said. I didn't want to, but I followed her. We walked to his room. My mother opened the door. Richard was lying in the hospital bed. He looked weak and pale. He had tubes and wires connected to him. When he saw me, his eyes focused. "Sarah," he said. His voice was rough. "You came." I stood near the door. I didn't want to get close. "Yes," I said. My mother went to his bedside. She held his hand. "Look, Richard. Sarah came all this way to see you. Isn't that wonderful?" Richard looked at me for a long moment. Then he said something I didn't expect. "Come closer, girl." I didn't move. My mother looked at me. "Sarah, please." I took a few steps closer but stayed at the end of the bed. Richard looked at me with those same cold eyes I remembered. "I'm dying," he said. "The doctors are lying, but I know. I can feel it." My mother started crying again. "Don't say that. You'll be fine." Richard ignored her. He kept looking at me. "I need to tell you something before I die," he said. I waited. He took a breath. "I was wrong," he said quietly. I almost didn't hear him. "What?" I said. "I was wrong," he repeated. "About you. About everything. I was a terrible stepfather. I hurt you. I made your childhood hell. I'm sorry." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Richard was apologizing? After all these years? After all the pain? My mother was crying harder now. "Richard, oh Richard," she said. But I felt nothing. No relief. No forgiveness. Just emptiness. "Why?" I asked. "Why did you do it? What did I do to deserve that?" Richard closed his eyes. "Nothing. You did nothing wrong. It was me. I was angry at my own life. I hated my job. I hated getting old. I drank to forget. And when I drank, the anger came out. You were an easy target. A child who couldn't fight back." He opened his eyes again. "I'm sorry, Sarah. I know you can't forgive me. I don't deserve forgiveness. But I needed to say it." The room was silent except for the beeping of the machines. My mother looked at me hopefully. She wanted me to say something kind. She wanted me to forgive him. She wanted us to be a family. But I couldn't. Okay, I said. That was all. Just okay. Richard nodded slowly like he understood. I left the room. I walked out of the hospital. I stood outside in the cold air and breathed deeply. My mother came out a few minutes later. Sarah, where are you going? I looked at her. I'm going back to university. I came to see him like you asked. I saw him. Now I'm leaving. She grabbed my arm. But he apologized. He said he was sorry. Doesn't that mean anything to you? I pulled my arm away gently. Mom, he abused me for years. He hit me. He hurt me. He made me feel worthless. And you let him. You watched and did nothing. One apology when he's dying doesn't fix that. It doesn't heal the damage. She was crying again. I was scared too, Sarah. I didn't know what to do. I was trapped. I felt sad for her. I know, Mom. But you chose him over me. Every time he hurt me, you chose him. Now I'm choosing myself. I walked away from the hospital. I went to the train station instead of the airport. I wanted time to think. During the long train ride back to university, I thought about everything. Richard's apology. My mother's tears. My own pain. I realized something important. An apology doesn't erase the past. Sorry doesn't take away the scars. Richard was dying and he wanted to feel better about himself. He wanted to clear his conscience before the end. But that apology was for him, not for me. I didn't owe him forgiveness. I didn't owe him anything. Richard died 3 weeks later. My mother called to tell me. She asked if I would come to the funeral. I said no. She was upset but she didn't argue. I didn't go to the funeral. I didn't mourn him. I felt nothing. Several months passed. My mother and I talked sometimes on the phone. Our relationship was difficult. She wanted me to come home. She was lonely in that house. But I couldn't. That house had too many bad memories. Then one day, she made a decision. She sold the house. She moved to a small apartment in a different town. She started therapy. She started working again. She started rebuilding her life. When she told me this, I felt proud of her. I'm sorry, Sarah, she said on the phone. I'm sorry I didn't protect you. I was weak. I was scared. I should have left him years ago. I should have chosen you. I failed as a mother. I thought about her words carefully. Thank you for saying that, Mom. That means more to me than Richard's apology ever could. She asked if she could visit me sometime. I said yes. Maybe we could rebuild our relationship slowly. Maybe we could heal together. Today, I'm 30 years old. I finished university. I have a good job. I have friends who love me. I'm in therapy dealing with my childhood trauma. It's hard but I'm getting better. My mother and I talk regularly now. She visits me twice a year. We're not close like some mothers and daughters, but we're trying. She's different now. Stronger. More independent. She left that life behind. As for Richard, I think about him sometimes. I think about his apology. I understand now that some people apologize when it's too late. Some people only feel sorry when they're facing death. That doesn't mean we have to forgive them. Forgiveness is not required. Healing is personal. Justice is personal. You don't owe anyone forgiveness, especially people who hurt you deeply. I'm sharing this story because I want people to know something important. If you're being abused at home, it's not your fault. You don't deserve it. You're not worthless. You're not bad. The person hurting you is the one with the problem, not you. And if you can, get help. Tell a teacher. Tell a friend. Tell another family member. Call a helpline. There are people who can help you. I wish I had told someone when I was younger. I wish I had gotten help sooner. But I survived. And if you're in that situation now, you can survive too. You can escape. You can build a better life. You are stronger than you think. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps someone out there who needs to hear it.